Hello, developers. As a UI developer, I share the concepts and challenges I've faced in real-world projects, and today we're going to dive into something that looks simple, but is actually incredibly powerful. We are going to discuss form validations today, and right here you can already see all the validations are working perfectly. But that brings up a really important question. What's the difference here? What's actually happening behind the scenes? Because when it comes to form validation, we usually think, okay, I'll need JavaScript for that, maybe even a whole library. But let me tell you something. You can build full real-time form validation using just HTML and CSS. No JavaScript needed, no complex scripts, no extra libraries, just pure, clean, modern HTML5 and a little bit of clever CSS magic. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. You'll learn how native HTML5 attributes like required pattern and min length already give you strong validation rules, how CSS pseudo-classes like valid and invalid can create dynamic success and error feedback, how to add custom icons, green check marks and red warnings with no extra images or JavaScript, and how to create a modern, beautiful, fully responsive form that feels as smooth as any JavaScript-driven UI. We'll break everything down, from HTML structure to validation logic to styling polished feedback, all step by step. By the end of this project, you'll realize just how much you can achieve with nothing but HTML and CSS. Let's start by breaking down the HTML structure step by step. At the very top, we have a form element. This is the heart of our project, and it's where the magic of validation starts. Inside the form, we have several form groups, each one containing a label, an input field, and a small error message div. Now, let's look at how we make these fields smart, without JavaScript, using only HTML attributes. First, we use the required attribute. This simply tells the browser, you cannot leave this field empty. If a user tries to submit the form without filling it, the browser will automatically block submission and show an error. Next, we use the min length attribute on text inputs. For example, the first name and last name fields require at least 3 characters. This prevents users from submitting names like Joe or only A and ensures meaningful input. Then on the email field, we set the type equal email. This makes the browser automatically check for a valid email format without any JavaScript. Same for the phone number. We use type equal TL and apply a pattern attribute. This pattern matches a specific format like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And if the format is wrong, the browser immediately shows an error. For the dropdown, we use a select element with a required attribute. This forces users to actually pick a subject instead of leaving it blank. And finally, for the message box, we use a text area with a min length, so users must write at least 10 characters before submitting. All these rules combined make the form self-validating, meaning the browser handles all basic logic before even thinking about sending data. No JavaScript needed. In the next step, we'll see how we used CSS to detect whether a field is valid or invalid, and style it beautifully in real time. Now let's move to the CSS part. Now let's focus directly on the form elements and their classes. We start with the input fields, text area, and select box. All of these elements share the same class called form control. The class form control gives them, ASN, a soft white background, a smooth padding inside, rounded corners, and a scent, and a soft drop shadow. This makes the fields look clean, lightweight, and easy to interact with. Next, we style what happens when a user focuses on a field. When an input with the class form control is clicked or touched, the border color changes to a bright blue. The field also moves slightly upward by using a small transform. This creates a natural interactive effect, helping users see where they are typing. Now, we apply validation styling using CSS. We use 2 special pseudo-classes. The first one is valid, the second one is invalid. When an input with the class form control becomes valid, the border color changes to green, and a small green checkmark icon appears inside the field. When the input becomes invalid, the border color changes to red, and a small red warning icon appears inside the field. These icons are added through the background image of the class form control. They are inline SVG icons, so there is no need for extra images or downloads. Now, let's explain a small but very important trick. In the validation CSS, you will notice we are using not placeholder-shown. What does that mean? The pseudo-class placeholder-shown targets an input field that is empty and still showing its placeholder text. By using not and placeholder-shown together, we are telling the browser and only apply validation styles after the user has typed something. Do not show red or green borders when the field is still empty. This way, the form looks clean when it first loads. No scary red warnings appear immediately. Validation feedback only starts after the user interacts with the field. This makes the form feel much smoother and gives users a better experience. Next, we handle the error messages. Each field has a hidden error message with the class invalid feedback. By default, the invalid feedback message is hidden. But when the input field becomes invalid and the user has typed something, the message appears just below the field. We control this behavior using the same idea, invalid, combined with not placeholder-shown. The error message also has a small shake animation. This subtle shaking helps catch the user's attention, making the form feel alive and interactive. Now for the button. The submit button uses the class btn. The btn class gives the button a bright primary color background, smooth padding, rounded corners, and a hover effect. When the user hovers on the button, the background color becomes slightly darker. The button also lifts up a little bit using a small transform. This makes the button feel more clickable and responsive. Finally, we add a media query for mobile screens. On smaller devices, we reduce the padding inside the card and make the input field smaller. This makes sure the form looks clean and easy to use on both desktops and mobile phones. And that's it. A fully validated, beautifully styled, responsive form created using only HTML and CSS. No JavaScript needed. No external libraries, just pure modern front-end development. And that's how you create a complete form validation system using only HTML and CSS. We used native validation attributes like required, pattern, and min length. We styled real-time feedback with valid and invalid. We used background icons for success and error. And we made sure the form looks beautiful, responsive, and user-friendly. I always try to provide the source code for all my tutorials, so make sure you check out the CodePen link in the description. If you found this helpful, press the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really motivates me to keep making more videos for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.